Live your life for yourself, not for other people. You deserve your time. You deserve to do the things that you love, and you deserve to be able to do them how you want to do them. Stop trying to fit in so much. You are going to attract the right things and the right people in one way, and one way only. And that is by being your true, authentic self, because anything else is simply unacceptable. If you're disliked by some, that's fine. You can't please everybody, so don't pretend to be interested in the things that you're not, because that way you are only lying to them, and worse yet, to yourself. I created my first video on this channel in April, but that was after years of putting it off, and I mean years. A lot of people have told me to do it. I wanted to do it, but I never did. I tried to tell myself that I don't really know why, I just never had a reason, or that I was just too busy with, other things. But in reality, I knew the kind of judgment that would come from doing something like this, as well as the failure that is associated with starting up a project such as YouTube or a business or an online brand for that matter. So I always just swept it all off to the side. We've all evolved to be social creatures, and well, acceptance is part of being social, right? Because if you're not accepted, well, then you're more than likely not going to be part of the group. We all want to be accepted. That's completely normal. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But sometimes, depending on what we do, some people might not like it, might not accept it. And in all honesty, that's okay. I do think that acceptance and support from people, especially in the online space, has come at a large price with the creation of social media, the likes, the dislikes, the comments, the shares, and most importantly of all, the anonymity and the safety behind the screen. How someone could just say something nasty or leave a troll comment. Nobody wants to face that, right? People don't want to face those things, and that's absolutely okay. But on the other hand, everybody wants to face that like count, that like button. Everybody wants to see that go up. So I do think that people have a desire to be liked more than ever because of the like counts, the comments, the support, and what people have done online. Obviously, don't get me wrong, there have been some beautiful stories that have come around from people being supported and helped online, and that is awesome. But there's also a lot of bad from it as well. But right now, it just kind of seems like everybody's seen as, well, what's the number against their name? How many followers do they have? How many likes do they get? How many comments do they get? Because obviously the higher that number, the more liked they are, right? I myself used to struggle quite a bit, to be honest, with wanting to be liked and accepted, and I wanted people to not make fun of me. I wanted people to like me. But as I've, let's just say, grown older, grown up, whatever you want to call it, and educated myself on a few things, read up on a few things, and obviously I think about things and I see things very differently. And at one point I actually came across a quote which Manson actually referenced, and it was, "You stop caring what people think about you when you realize how seldom they do." If I remember correctly, seldom just means rarely. So the whole statement just kind of says how people don't really think about you that often. And this is actually very true depending on who we're talking about. Quite oftentimes, quite a lot of people, they'll have this internal monologue thinking, oh, have I said the right thing? Have I said the wrong thing? Shit, have I done something wrong? And we kind of just sit there thinking about what other people are thinking about us. But in reality, other people are thinking exactly the same thing. Thinking about, shit, what are they thinking about me? And it's just this constant, endless loop of people thinking about what other people are thinking. So they aren't actually thinking about other people. They're thinking about themselves and how they are viewed by others. So when I said that people don't actually think about it that often, it's not because they don't care or they don't like you or they disregard you or any of that. It's just because they are so busy with all the thousands of things that they need to compute and see every single day, and their own worries that they probably just don't have space and time for it in their minds right now. Because if you walk past someone in the public, they will probably forget about your existence in a matter of minutes, unless you did something very silly, such as face planted or just completely fell over or something. They're just not going to remember, because I guarantee it's the same for you. We pass loads of people whenever we go anywhere. Some people might have stood out. We might remember someone because we thought, oh, that guy had a really cool outfit on, or wow, she was very beautiful. Things like that. Those kind of things obviously stand out to you, right? But you're still going to forget about it pretty quickly. Kind of like I mentioned, how people are just so busy with their own lives and their own things going on and their own minds worrying about other things. Even people who are close to you, your work colleagues, your uni mates, your friends, people like that. Once you're out of sight from each other, once you're no longer interacting, then that's it. Their brain will just go to something different, and there's a very high chance they are worrying about something else rather than thinking about what you did or said or how you dressed. So just having the courage to be disliked, it's essentially just saying how you're not going to be a people pleaser. You don't mind saying no to other people and saying yes to yourself. Because when I say be disliked, I don't just mean be a dick and just be nasty, mean, or whatever. None of that. It just means that obviously some people are not going to like you. Some people might look at me and just think, what a dickhead. Why did he get his neck tattooed? And that's fine. That is not a problem. Because I know I'm not a bad person, and by any means am I not going to try and do something bad or nasty to them because they don't like me or how I look. That's fine. Because we are not going to be able to please everybody. We're not. It's just impossible. But that's a good thing, because when people don't like you for simply what you look like or how you are, then that just automatically tells you, well, I don't need to even bother trying entertaining those people. I'm not going to try befriending them, because what is the point? They already don't like me. So instead of wasting my time, effort, and energy on someone like that, instead I'm going to direct it elsewhere on someone that, well, might become my friend, might become a partner, a business partner, who knows? But either way, on something positive. Because no matter how hard you try and no matter what you do, you will end up destroying yourself before you get everybody to like you and accept you. Because even if you're a really nice person, some people would genuinely not like the fact that you're a lovely person. They'll be like, well, he's just too bubbly, it does my head in. And people will think that. That's just how it is, isn't it? You know that. I know that. So let's stop trying to please people when there's absolutely no need. If we really do manage to do something, miraculous, and we do manage to get them to like us, then what has that actually done for us? Like, genuinely, when we sit there and think about it, what does that achieve for us? And I'm not saying everything's about personal gain, but how much did you have to sacrifice in order for someone to like you when they probably don't actually like you that much because it was kind of forced? What does that do? Not much in the grand scheme of things. Because when we start to force things, that is when we start to lose our identity. That is when we start to be someone we're not. Because more often than not, when we have to force something or push something, we tend to drop our values or change our values. We start pretending, we start lying, and that's not who we are. People are going to like us for who we are, not who we're trying to pretend to be. So the seeking of validation is not worth all the hurt and pain you're going to put yourself through. Because, like I mentioned earlier, what does that actually do for you? That little bit of validation, to say that someone likes you, to say that someone thinks you're funny. Is it really worth it? The reality is, life is bloody mental, right? There's always something to do, always something to go and see, always something to sort, something to fix, something to chase, something to go and talk about. There's always something, right? So in the midst of this just busyness and craziness, people don't sit there thinking about other people that often. So knowing that you have the courage to be disliked, as I'm kind of calling it in this video, simply reinforces the idea in your head that everything's fine. It doesn't matter if people think about you or not, whether that's in a good way or a bad way, because ultimately how you think about yourself matters significantly more. Because truth is, no matter what you do, no matter how you live your life, people will still find a reason to not like you. That's just how it is. But the beautiful side of it is the opposite side. When you do the things that you want to do, like I mentioned, people will find a reason to like you. And those are the people you should care about, not the other side. So have fun and enjoy things. And stop caring so much about what other people think.